Hey YouTube. So I'm on my way to my friend's house right now. And my connectivity is garbage because I'm on Google Fi apparently and can't do lives for Clapper and can't do any of that stuff today. I don't know if it's the stupid weather or what it is, but the weather is pretty bad. It was hailing pea-sized hail all this morning and extra dumb. But I want to get right into it about skin. And I do take a lot of my content in my car because I'm super busy with my full-time job, and Hubs enlists my help once in a while to work on the house we're building from scratch. I say the pronoun we are contracted because I like to include myself mentally, but physically I'm not doing much with it. I just don't have the time. But I am growing my YouTube channel. I think it's super important for people to have a lot of different viewpoints from a lot of different people so that they have a wealth of information to adopt and apply to their own lives. So that's part of why I'm doing it, and I'm passionate. And like I said in my last video, I don't have to bug my family as much because my family and anybody that'll stand still for 5 minutes will tell them about it, and nobody wants to. Nobody wants to, and that's okay. I get it. I suffer from old bat rosacea, and what is that exactly? It is this terrible thing where your skin pretends you're 13 again, and you get little teeny zits and big zits, and you get terrible cystic acne, and you look like you've been bitch slapped. So your face is ruddy, squared. Rosacea wasn't enough. I also have ocular rosacea. I didn't even know I had rosacea. And then in October of 21, or 20 maybe, I think it's been that long maybe, yeah, 20, I got a stye on my eyelid where my eyelashes are, on the lash line. And I was like, what is this? And it got all worked up and stupid. And then I started noticing I had all these like flakes and stuff in my eyes. And then my girlfriend says, oh, that's ocular rosacea. I have that. She says, those are mites and they're out of control. I said, mites? She said, yeah, we all have eye mites that sit there and, eat stuff. It's super gross, right? And I was like, okay, that's super yucky. And she says, when you have ocular rosacea, you get a huge abundance of those because there's this thing going on with your body. So I knew it was hormonal related because I knew I was entering menopause. I didn't actually go into full-blown menopause until just a few months ago. So I was like, okay, that's awful. And so the stye went away, and once in a while I would get them, but it seemed like I lived with, for almost a year, my eyelids being puffy and red and just generally mad, and I had all the mites and the stuff, and it was real bad. That's been cured now. And I want to give you guys resolution. I want to give you guys hope because I know there's other women and probably men out there too that are suffering from this, and I think I know what's going on. I went around for about a year doing nothing but dealing and battling with this and being kind of embarrassed because I'd wake up and I would be like, every day I'd have these little zits on my face. Every day I looked like I'd been hit. Every day my skin was chapped and dry looking, and it was just basically just awful looking all the time. So that's what I was living with. I mentioned in prior videos, I used to get this psoriasis stuff, this like scaly, pink, kind of open wound almost kind of stuff along my jawline and sometimes by my ears and stuff. And I'm a hygiene freak in that I really like to shower and be clean all the time. And I get after the grooming. I don't care about makeup so much, but I like being clean. So it was an extra big insult to me. I was like, I don't want to put up with this, whatever this is. And then I had eczema, which was affecting, the inside of my ears. And also I had a couple hot spots on my scalp, which are these areas of your scalp that are tender, that drive you crazy and itch. And it's not dandruff, and it's not skank, it's none of that stuff. It's an internal thing. It just seemed to all kind of coalesce and work against me at the same time. And I couldn't figure out what the solution is. And let me tell you something. It's not fast and it's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing carnivore. Okay? You gotta want it. And I'm not, that's why I'm the cheating carnivore. because once in a while, I don't feel like I want it that bad. For my birthday, I usually eat kind of what I want. Mom's birthday or Mother's Day, eat kind of what I want. Our anniversary, I probably go off of carnivore and go kind of into a keto day on 6 days a year. And I like to talk about that because I think there's carnivores out there that are cheating and they're worried that somebody's going to fall off the rails if they say, yeah, I'm not perfect. Once in a while I do something else. Well, I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to say I'm not perfect. I go off the rails once in a while. But what's interesting to me is those once in a whiles are becoming very infrequent. It used to be I would have a cheaty day once a month. I am not one that cheats once and then goes back to the way of eating. That's not my style. I actually am pretty grateful to be able to go back and eat what I generally like eating and what nourishes my body best. I'm trying to kind of like see while I'm driving. So I'm happy to get back on the program. Now, I know some carnivores feel like that kind of a thing will lead people astray, and they'll go into it'll be a segue into them just one cheat day becomes a weekend, becomes forever. Because there's other carnivores that talk about that. I'm not of that ilk. I can cheat or I can not cheat. It's really a choice. I don't have any cravings at this stage, I don't think. I even just dumped Diet Pop without a second glance. I can't believe that. Now, caffeine would be different. But I digress. I'm gonna let this sit here because my hand's starting to hurt and stuff. I know that's not as good of a position for me. I understand that chins and nostrils don't look as good, but the content's here, right? So how long did it take me to get rid of the psoriasis, the open kind of shiny, scaly bullshit that was happening? That goes away in the first month. All I have to do is not have one thing from the plant kingdom. Not one thing for a month, and it's gone. The eczema is still here, but there's so much less of it. Like I used to be in both ears. I was constantly, the back of my throat itched. I had drainage. I had these ears that were crusty and they hurt and they itched, and it was miserable all the way deep down inside. It was just the way my body rebelled against whatever plants were bothering it. And since I like a simple life, I just took them all out. I was like, you know what? I don't know which one of you is the exact problem, but I'm not going to have anything but animal kingdom. And first, my left side of my body's always bothered me more, and I didn't realize it was a food thing. But my left ear and my left eye, they always have itched my whole life that I can remember. You know, I'd rub this eye more than the other one, and this ear always hurt and itched and carried on, and I just thought it was my lot. And then I had a little bit on the right side, but not very much. I don't know if it's because I'm a left side sleeper or what it was, but anyway, I took out the plants, and about two or 3 weeks ago, after being almost 2 months into it, my right ear stopped all that. All the itching, all the stuff, it's gone. My left ear is having it intermittently now. It used to be every single day I'd have to take a Q-tip and itch my ear because I couldn't think unless I had something that could itch it, and it just drove me crazy. And I'm sure I'm not the only person out there. My eye's not bothering me anymore, so that already went. My ocular rosacea is gone. If I have flakes around my eyes, it's what I can see. It's like sleep or something, you know, how you have in the morning. It's not the excessive amount of mites. I have whatever amount everybody else has now. That's fantastic. That was getting better. That was getting better anyway from the very beginning, but now it's gone. My rosacea is gone. I still have the eczema in this ear. I still have one stubborn hot spot on my scalp. And from experience, I know I have to be 4 or 5 months in before both ears are perfect and the hot spot is gone. I think it's the last to clear. Skin issues are the last to clear, even after my thyroid numbers come into being the proper numbers. And we'll talk about that, Hashimoto's and those challenges for autoimmune people at another time, another video. But it's all related. Psoriasis, eczema, Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, scalp and skin issues, all those things are related. They're all autoimmune types. My maternal side has a lot of autoimmune issues. And for me, the only way to clear those, to resolve those problems that I am predisposed to, is to eat no plants. Now, having said that, when I do have a cheat day, I don't want anyone to think that I'm going right to the bread cabinet or the sugar cabinet. What I mean by cheating is having a keto day. That's my cheat. So am I the cheating carnivore? Yes, because carnivores don't consider themselves to be carnivores if they're dipping into the plant kingdom at all. For instance, on my birthday, Hubs will make me a low-carb pumpkin cake, and it has no sugar or flour. And it's got mainly dairy in it and a little bit of pumpkin, which I consider to be pretty benign, though there is some oxalate. It's not chock full of it like some things. The other thing I like to carnivore cheat on is I'll have like Rebel ice cream. So there's some stevia in there, right? Okay. Full disclosure here, transparency. I just want people to know it's possible to have a full life, and once in a while, because of an event or a circumstance, you can have something that's not carnivore and you're not gonna die. I give you permission. And you know what? I feel like it keeps my sanity. I feel like, that half a dozen times a year I can have something from the keto realm helps me. And there's some things that don't bother me at all. And I don't feel like as though I'm cheating. I just feel like I'm broader that day. But for the most part, I just leave it all alone. And I just eat Animal Kingdom. I'm perfectly fine. Another thing I really like, I'm not having alcohol right now. I brought some from my girlfriend's house because she's a big drinker like I used to be. I don't know what's going on there, guys. All I can say is that it doesn't occur to me to have alcohol. I forget that I was going to have a cocktail for like weeks now. I keep forgetting. And then when I remember, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't sound very good. So what I'm doing instead, I live in Washington State, and edibles are legal here. I'm having an edible like once a week or something if I feel like it. And when Hubs and I do that, I find myself having that munchies thing a little bit. Usually I'll have a lot to eat beforehand and get myself full of fat so that I'm much less likely to overeat or have the wrong thing. Find like once a month or something, I might have a pint of the Rebel ice cream or whatever. And then once every 3 or 4 months, I'll have some of those almond, coconut, pumpkin seed keto cluster things you can get at Costco. And I love those. And I don't have them very often. They don't bother me too much, but they do bother me a little bit. And I probably think it's the almonds in there because there's a lot of oxalate in almonds. But the other stuff doesn't have the oxalate. Pumpkin seeds are very benign, and so is coconut. And pecan, I think, are okay. I don't have Sally K. Norton around to tell me for sure, but I think they're okay. Definitely, I don't partake very much, but on my birthday, I'll do things like that. Rarely, like once a year, I'll have a bunch of fries. And that always puts me into a tailspin. Like, that's a real choice. I have fries, I will pay. Not only are fries a nightshade, but they're their own category of oxalate. So they're a real poisonous food, and I do not subject my body to that like I used to before. I used to just have them like once a month, and I'd counter that with a hard fast, a couple rolling 48s or something so that my body could take care of it better. And now I'm like, nah, my body doesn't need to take care of that. Once a year at most is fine for me, so I'm very careful about that. But that's full transparency there. And you know what? That's once a month cheat days are too much for my body. My body cannot heal itself if I'm subjecting it even once a month to something. And that's what you've got to tell yourself, as the cheating carnivore says. You have to find your own cheat. It could be that you can go once a month and do something like that, but I had huge issues to heal. Like, weight loss is the last reason for the carnivore diet for me. One, when you're close to your normal weight, when you're close to your set point, it's not going to happen very fast. I'm just waiting for that person to roar by so they don't get mad because I'm in front of them. I had too many autoimmune issues to heal I needed to allow my body to be 99.5% carnivore. And that was the only way I was going to get past that stuff. And I just had to do it. I had to get serious, and I had to allow my body to heal. My skin issues weren't going to go away 100%. My rosacea wasn't going to clear. My thyroid numbers weren't going to be down where I want them to be down unless I made the commitment to, by and large, 99% of the time plus, be carnivore. And at this stage, I don't know what bothers me, but I don't want to figure it out anymore. I know for sure the hot spots are nightshades. And if you're Hashis or autoimmune, listen up. Nightshades, gluten, sugar, out. Forever. I never have that stuff. I don't have sugar or gluten or nightshades knowingly, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Won't touch the stuff. I get gluten-free soy sauce. I'm real careful with it now because that is actual poison pills for my Hashis. And I have to assume for all my autoimmune people. And not everybody manifests. Like, I had 3 skin conditions: rosacea, eczema, and psoriasis. And that's how my body manifested. And you know, skin's the largest organ, guys. You know that if somebody's skin looks like trash, there's a problem inside. And I couldn't get past that. I knew that was my problem. So I was like, stop goofing around, you dipshit. Stop having all the plan, any plan. So I did. And then I even went off dairy for 5 weeks, which you guys are aware of. And that didn't make any difference of any kind. So dairy is not a problem for me. The only thing dairy does, I think, is stall me a little bit on my weight loss. And since I have a Hashi's girl, I have a real problem with regularity. Cheese isn't my friend, right? Fat's my friend. What I've been doing right now is I've been increasing my fat, adding it, and I am not bothered by fat. I think my system uniquely needs a bunch of it. So I've been upping my fat. Today, for instance, I had a bowl of ground beef, 73.27, lean to fat, and then I added a quarter stick of butter to it. And it was just delicious, and I just lightly salted it with ground salt, you know, the Redmond salt that I've started really liking. I'm supporting them as a company. It's not because I'm a carnivore, but I heard other carnivores doing it. Monkey see, monkey do. I was like, yeah, USA, our own stuff. They're, you know, local done. I liked it. So I've been doing that. And I just been adding a little bit more fat. And today I got hungry around 2:15. I took time out. I had a thing of sardines and lightly salted those, and that was my snack. I wasn't sure if I was hungry or not, but I felt like maybe I was, so I just said, the hell with it. I'm gonna have something to eat. And I did, and I ate it pretty good. So I was like, nope, I was hungry. It tasted pretty good. Because sardines won't taste real good unless you're hungry. Some people don't like them very much. I like them even when I'm not hungry. But I don't love them, but I like them a lot. And they're kind of like fancy tuna to me. And my body likes them. It does well on them. So I ate those, and then I felt better afterwards. So I was like, okay, that was a good decision. And then my girlfriend said, what do you want for supper today? And I said, hamburgers or steak. I said, she gave me that choice of hamburgers. She goes, well, I've got taco fixings. And I said, I really appreciate that. I said, but I'm not really doing veggies right now, I told her. And you know what? Why this is so easy for me? I'm going to talk about Lily Kane just very briefly. She's a very young woman. She's a carnivore, and I'm going to go with her thing. I never really liked fruits or vegetables. Corn on the cob's okay. I like fries, like I said, but very little. My mom tried to make me eat things like Brussels sprouts and beets and horrible shit like that when I was being grown up, when I was being reared by my folks, and I hated them. They were gross. And I had peas the other day down in Muzzet Lawn because I wanted to go off the rails a little bit and have a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and they tasted bitter to me. And I was like, when have peas ever tasted bitter to me? But that's what my body said. It said, oh, I don't like this. This is going to be bitter for you. I was like, oh, okay. So your takeaway, let's recap, because I've got to go. Because I'm sure my Go Maps is going to start flipping out and saying that I need to turn somewhere anyway, and I don't know where I'm going, so, which is normal. Normal. Your takeaway is skin is the last thing to clear. If you want to clear acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, get off all plant kingdom. If within a month you don't see improvement, get off dairy. Okay? My people, I'm Norwegian. Okay? Really strongly Norwegian. And I pull hard from it because that's all I am pretty much. They claim Scottish too. But it's the islands between Norway and Scotland. Norwegian. My people were some of the first ethnicity that was indoctrinated into dairy. And ancestrally speaking, it should not bother me, and it doesn't. I've done a lot of testing on it, it doesn't. However, if you're like Hubs, who's pulling hardcore Portuguese, his people were not first in line. They were one of the latter ones. And so he's very reactive to dairy. He has to have hard cheeses. He can't have soft cheeses. He can't have milk. He can't have cream. Even the 2A protein. He's better on it, but he's not perfect. Next thing I'm going to try is raw dairy. Just so he can have some cream in his coffee. He told me no, and I said, yes, you're doing it. I don't care. And he's just, I'm like, I don't care. I'll go to a separate store for your dairy. Come at me. Take away. If you want to clear your garbage skin, get off the plant kingdom, try it for 30 days. You got to want it bad. It's a little bit difficult. Now, those first 3 weeks, I'm not going to lie. I had different responses than some people. But just look up the stuff on the internet, what you do for the keto flu, if you're having trouble with that. But if you don't have improvement within 30 days, I'll eat my hat. I don't know which thing's bothering you, and I don't really know exactly what things are bothering me. I know what things I'll never have again. But you need to think about that. And then if it's still not improved, cut out dairy. Okay? Do those things, and then tell me in the comments if you guys have done it, or you can add any anecdotal stuff to this, any N=1. I'm going by this beautiful Discovery Bay right now. I just love it. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. I'm gonna be coming to a point where they're gonna give me directions on Go Mouse. Love ya. And please subscribe to my channel. Help me grow. It's slow but steady, and I'm excited about that. I think I have some things to impart, especially for old bats over 50. Thank you.